Good morning and a very peaceful welcome to the Sunday morning 7 a.m. club. I'm Faye Chappell and I'm pleased that you have chosen to spend your time with me today, finding a little bit of sanctuary, I hope, especially today because it's Sunday and you always have a choice on where you want to spend your time. So, our theme is one that I believe resonates deeply with our busy world. It's taming overwhelm. It's how to declutter your mind and really cultivate a daily calm. So if you've ever felt like your mind is like a browser with too many tabs open, because I know mine does, then you're in the right place. So today we're going to understand what overwhelm truly is and how it affects our well-being without any judgment. So allow yourself to settle in, find a comfortable position, get your journal ready, get your tea or your water, and let's begin. Welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the place where we battle burnout and brew up bold ideas, preferably over a steamy cup of coffee. I'm Faye Chappell, and I'm your ringleader for these re-energizing Sundays. If you're ready to crack the code on resetting your mindset, rebooting your goals, and laughing a little along the way, well, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. So, in our fast paced, hyper connected world, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed, right? The constant stream of information everywhere, the never ending to do list, the pressure to always be on. It can feel like our minds are constantly racing and they're filled with thoughts and worries and obligations. And this just isn't a fleeting feeling. For many of us, this becomes our near constant state of being. That mental clutter, that sense of perpetually being swamped, it doesn't really just go away. It makes us feel stressed. It can cloud our thinking, it can drain our energy, it absolutely can affect our sleep, it can impact our relationships, and it can really steal the joy from just present, simple moments, right? It can make even simple tasks feel monumental, and it can prevent us from connecting with our own inner wisdom and our own peace. It's like trying to see, a beautiful view, but it's foggy and smudged, right? And it just doesn't seem quite clear and as perfect as it should be. But there is hope in this, right? Because overwhelm is not an inevitable part of modern life. We simply don't have to endure it. We can learn to manage our mental load. So we can cultivate those habits that actually create space and clarity and calm our minds. It's not about adding more complicated strategies. We already have an overloaded plate, right? At least I do, and I know probably you do too. So it's about finding simple, gentle ways to declutter, to simplify, and to breathe. As a modern feng shui master, I spend a lot of time decluttering people's homes, right? Not, and I don't just mean putting things away and organizing. I mean getting rid of things that don't really serve us, that are in our way. And we want to do the same things with ourselves and with our minds, right? We want to explore today those paths that really tame overwhelm, right? Our goal isn't to empty our minds completely because that's really near impossible. But we want to learn how to turn down that volume on that all that mental noise that's going around us. We want to organize our inner space, right, to create pockets of peace so we can return to them whenever we need it, no matter what happens to be swirling around us, right? So let's begin by really acknowledging where you are right now. Let's do an internal scan, your kind of mental weather picture, right? So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to soften your gaze within that, just very calmly and without judgment. Just notice the current weather conditions in your mind. Is it stormy and turbulent? Is it foggy and unclear? Perhaps a little cloudy with maybe occasional sunny spells, or maybe it's surprisingly calm, right? I just want you to observe the quality of your thoughts and your feelings right now. What sensations do you notice in your body when you think about overwhelm? Yeah, think about that. How does your body interpret that, right? So let's do a little reflection. Maybe it's called a too many tabs open reflection. So think about the past week. Was there a moment when you felt like your brain had too many tabs open simultaneously, right? And what did that feel like? What was that impact on your ability to focus or to feel at ease? I know sometimes when it's too much, I have a lot of tabs open most of the time. And eventually, when there's too many, instead of just trying to clean that up, I just close everything because I'm done. I'm overwhelmed. I'm fed up. I don't care if I lose things. We don't want to get to that point. Okay. So let's do a little bit of a one word check in. If you're willing, then I want you to share one word in the chat, to yourself, wherever you want, that describes how mental clutter or overwhelm typically really makes you feel. Example, does it make you feel scattered or heavy or anxious or stuck? And I want you to write that in your journal, right? And I want you to acknowledge that with empathy, right? Want you to say thank you, right, to the scattered experience that you're having. If it's heavy, say yes, it can feel that way. Be thankful that you can acknowledge how you feel, because it's powerful to know that we're not feeling that alone, that everyone around you is probably feeling the same way when they experience overwhelm. So understanding that this is within most people's journeys helps us to understand that we can tame that overwhelm, right, before it actually gets to the point where we have to close every single tab we have open, right? Feeling overwhelmed isn't a sign of weakness or an inability to cope. It's often a very natural human response to the incredible demands of modern life, right? So, there's a lot of different reasons you feel overwhelmed. One is information overload. We are bombarded with more information in a single day than most of our ancestors might have encountered in a lifetime, right? Emails, news, social media, notifications. Our brains weren't originally designed to process the sheer volume of information on a consistent basis, right? And then our culture has been on this always on culture, right? So technology has really blurred the lines between work and personal life, and it's creating an expectation, often maybe self-imposed, that we should be available and be able to respond to everything 24/7. And this really leaves little room for that mental downtime that we really need, right? Another reason for overwhelm is really decision fatigue. We make countless small decisions every single day, from what to wear to complex work choices, right? And then these simple choices start feeling overwhelming later in the day, right? So I always think about Steve Jobs, who went to work every day with a black turtleneck and jeans. He took one of the decisions out of his life so that he could focus on making decisions he wanted to. He didn't want to think about what to wear every day. And that's kind of cool, right? So when you think about, if you wearing uniforms, you don't have to think about what you're going to wear. You put your uniform on and you're off for the day. Though that's what I want you to start trying to think about. Trying to take some of those decisions away will help you, because we all have decision fatigue at one time or another. And we also have the pressure to do it all, right? Society and personal expectations can really create that immense pressure to excel in every part of our lives, right? We have to excel in our career and our family and our health and our social life, right? And it leads to an overloaded schedule and an overloaded mind. And for those of you who are watching in the Western world, in North America in particular, we have a tendency now to start doing this to our kids, right? They're overscheduled. They don't really have downtime to sit, to relax, to create, to make up play. We've scheduled, and we want to make sure that we don't let them grow up thinking that they continually have to be scheduled. Therefore they will, grow up thinking that overwhelm is normal. We don't want to do that, right? So all of this stuff, this mental clutter accumulation, just keeps getting worse and worse. So just like physical spaces, our minds accumulate clutter, right? Unfinished tasks, worries about the future, regrets about the past, worrying about other people's problems, right? And we really don't clear out that mental, we don't clear mental housekeeping, right? We need to clear it because it's just going to continually build up. There is no difference than if you come home every day and you just throw your clothes on the floor. Eventually, in a month from now, it's going to be piled up, and then it is overwhelming to have to clean it up. Same thing happens with your mind, right? If you continually bring in everything and you don't let yourself time to reset, the same thing happening. So if you recognize these factors that we're talking about, it really helps to shift from self blame, right? Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle it? To being really compassionate, right? To understand that it's a lot to handle and maybe I need some strategies to help me out. And that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to explore some few little ways that we can actually tame our overwhelm, right? So I always start with the quote of the day for you guys. And this one's kind of cool. And it goes something like this. I find comfort in the ancient wisdom that I learned from all these books that I read. So here's a great one. It's to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Right? It speaks to that power that can be found in the frantic doing, right? You need to be able to cultivate inner stillness, right? You want to let that gentle guide of being able to, the mind being still, allow you to think about the universe surrenders. The universe opens up when your mind is still. And that's the key to really understanding taming overwhelm, right? You have to quiet the mind. That's why mindfulness and meditation is becoming so big now, because people recognize that that's what you need to do. I am not saying it must be within a meditation. What I'm saying is you need to give yourself opportunity to be able to still your mind. So let's take out our journals, right? Let's kind of clear a path for peace. Okay, so I want you to really use your journals to explore our inner landscape. Okay. So, number one, I want you to identify your overwhelm triggers and your mental clutter hotspots, right? So, specific situations or tasks or time of days or even types of information that tend to make you feel the most overwhelmed or the most mentally cluttered, right? So, for some of us, that's checking emails first thing, or when you have too many meetings, or you have really vague to do lists, or social media notifications, right? I want you to write down, what are those recurring thoughts or worries that take up a lot of space in your mind when one of these things happens. So list 2 or 3 common ones. You know when you feel overwhelmed. I know I do when I'm overscheduled. So I know that I need a little bit of a break. I am not good with being in crowds 24 hours a day. I like time to myself. So I know that if I am scheduled from morning till night and I do not have 10 minutes to myself, I know I will be overwhelmed by the end of the day. And how does that make me feel? I just feel exhausted. I feel exhausted. I feel like I can't move, like I'm trudging through mud, right? So, what is it for you? Is it opening your laptop and seeing a million emails? Is it knowing that you have 4 different stops of errands to make? What is it and how does it make you feel? Okay. So write those 2 or 3 things down. And now I want you to really imagine your mind feeling calm and clear and spacious. A mind where overwhelm has been tamed. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just saying, imagine if you don't have any overwhelm and your mind feels good. What would that feel like in your body? What kind of thoughts would be present? I want you to think about that and write down like 2 words which would describe this ideal mental state, right? Maybe it's focus, maybe it's lightness, maybe you feel ease, right? What's one very small thing that already helps you feel just a tiny bit closer to that state? So for me, I know I drop everything, I go outside and I just breathe and I look at the scenery or I go for a walk. That makes me calm down. It could be listening to music. That certainly helps me. It could be a lot of different things for you. So I want you to think about it. If you did not feel overwhelmed and you felt very calm and spacious and light, How do you get there now, right now? Everyone has a way because you're not overwhelmed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I really want you to dig down and think about it, right? So when you start thinking about all those triggers that we wrote about of what actually makes you feel overwhelmed, and then you see your vision of calm as well. What simple, gentle action can you take this week to reduce just a small piece of mental clutter or create just a moment of peace, right? Effectively taming that overwhelm in that small area. So I'll give you an example. You can set a timer for social media. If social media is one of those things that make you feel overwhelmed, then really write down your top 3 tasks the night before. Okay. Take 5 deep breaths before opening your email, or say no to one small request, or delegate one tiny task that you don't need to do. So, any of those, right? Setting a timer for social media simply means, tell yourself you can do social media for 30 minutes a day. That's it. So you don't get overwhelmed. Or write down your top 3 tasks the night before so you wake up and you know that that's what you have to do, right? Or again, take 5 breaths before opening your email. So calm your system before you move right into the day of emails. My favorite in all of these is always say no to one small thing, one small request. Say no. It is truly the hardest thing you can do is to say no, but you have a tendency, I assume, to say yes to a lot. That's why you're watching this episode on overwhelm. So I want you to really think about what you can say no to. So all of these examples I gave you, I want you to choose one, just one, and I want you to commit to it for this week, right? Commit when and how you will do it so that you know that you will be able to at least try. Because what's happening after you're watching this episode, you're going to be recognizing the fact that you don't feel good. And then you'll go, oh, it's because I'm overwhelmed. Why am I overwhelmed? Because there's too many tabs open. Why is there too many tabs open? Because I don't take the time to breathe and close down and finish what I need to do. So you're going to try to do one thing this week to help you get rid of that overwhelm in that one specific trigger. And if you'd like to share that one word that describes the feeling you're hoping to cultivate this week, then please go ahead and share it with the group, or share it on the comments, or share it with a friend. But I really want you to focus on what you will feel like, okay? So let's think a little bit about an affirmation, because an affirmation for that whole inner peace can really help you, right? Just simple things like I choose calm will make a massive difference when you say it out loud. So any beautiful reflections, you want to anchor your intention for calm and for taming overwhelm. So again, close your eyes, breathe in gently. Exhale, slowly releasing the tension. And I want you to repeat the following affirmations silently. And then when you find one, let it become your truth for the week. Okay? So let's go through them. I have the power to cultivate calm within myself. I gently release thoughts and worries that contribute to overwhelm. I can create space and clarity in my mind. Each breath I take is an invitation to peace and a step towards taming overwhelm. I choose to focus on one thing at a time. It is safe for me to rest and recharge, releasing the need to do it all. My inner world is becoming more peaceful and spacious as I learn to tame overwhelm. So take 3 more slow centering breaths. I want you to feel a sense of calm washing over you. And I want you to hold this feeling. Hold this feeling of calm. When you're ready, you can slowly, gently open your eyes. what I want you to think about is, what affirmation resonated with you? What can you say to yourself that will instantly allow you to ensure that you get to that space? Affirmations are just words or sentences we say out loud to remind us where we want to go, right? That's it. So choose one, what I've said, or go ahead and choose your own, and I want you to come back to it during the week when you are overwhelmed. So to help us really release that mental clutter, right? And calm that nervous system and assist in taming overwhelm. We practice breath, right? We practice breath. We do it every week. So we practice with an extended exhale. The longer the exhale, it signals your body to say it's safe to relax, right? So we're going to inhale for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale slowly and completely for a count of 8. If you can't do 8, you can move it down to 6 or 7. It should be comfortable without straining. And the key is making the exhale noticeably longer than the inhale. That's the calming. That's how we calm our breath. So let's try it. So I want you to sit comfortably. I want you to allow your body to soften. Okay. Now I want you to gently inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to do that again. You can exhale through your nose if you find that more comfortable, whatever you feel. But the exhale should be longer than the inhale. I like to double it, but again, you can go shorter. So let's go. Inhaling through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling through your mouth or your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After your last exhale, I want you to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. I want you to notice any shifts in your state, because this simple breath is a really powerful tool to release stress and really quiet your busy mind anywhere, anytime. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember, take a breath in and double the exhale. That's the easiest way to think about it. There is no right or wrong count. So if you want to inhale longer and exhale longer, feel free, whatever works for you. So let's settle again once more and get comfortable in our stillness. And let's close your eyes gently. Bring your awareness to the sensation of your breath, just a regular breath, gentle rise and fall. Each breath an anchor to the present moment, right? And that's a tool really for tooling overwhelm, right? For taming overwhelm. So I want you to imagine your mind is like a beautiful, clear sky. Sometimes clouds, which are like our thoughts and our worries and plans, can lead to overwhelm. So we want to drift across that sky, right? Some clouds are light and fluffy, and others are darker and heavier. Your task is not to stop the clouds, but to simply observe them from a place of peaceful awareness. You are the vast sky. It's clear, right? You are vast. The clear sky, it's not passing clouds. You can see a thought cloud drift into your awareness. You can notice its shape and you can notice its texture without getting caught up in its story. And then with your exhale, you imagine gently blowing that cloud along, right? Watching it drift peacefully away, revealing really that clear blue sky behind it. This is an act of taming overwhelm, one thought at a time. Another thought cloud might come its way. It might appear, right? So I want you to just acknowledge it with kindness, and then let it go on your exhale. Let it drift and let it dissolve. And continue this for a few minutes, inhaling calm, exhaling, releasing any thoughts that feel like clutter. Each exhale creates more space, more clarity in the sky of your mind. If your mind wanders or a cloud feels particularly sticky, then I want you to gently guide your attention back to your breath and then resume observing the clouds passing by. I want you to notice that growing sense of spaciousness around you, right? It's that quiet stillness, that beautiful clarity of your mind's sky. This peaceful, clear space is always within you. So I want you really think beneath every cloud, every thought is this beautiful sky. So you can return to it as you practice taming overwhelm. I want you to feel your heart really becoming calm and soothed by that inner clarity, right? A calm heart resting beneath a really clear mind. Really think about that. And I want you to gently begin to deepen your breath. And I want you to bring awareness back to your body, back to your room. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. When you feel ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying that sense of inner calm and clarity within you. So we've calmed our mind. We understand that we just need a few moments anytime we feel overwhelmed to get there, right? Your body's the same. You need to release tension and you need to welcome ease. So let's gently move our bodies to release any stored tension that really contributes to overwhelm, right? And it will invite that sense of ease. All from your seat, right? You can listen to your body and move in a way that feels good by sitting. So you can do this at your desk, in a chair, or wherever you want. So let's just start with some mindful head nods and some tilts. So very slowly, nod your chin towards your chest and then lift it up towards the ceiling. Repeating it 3 times. Down, coordinate your breath, and up. As slow as you want, relax your body, roll your shoulders, chin down, and back up. You're just slowly adding movement. It's fascinating how you can move just slightly. A simple little movement can completely change how you feel because we're so caught up in tense, sitting at a desk very tensely, and our shoulders are hunched. And then what we realize is when we actually just exhale and move our shoulders back, everything changes. So as you inhale, I want you to shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And as you exhale, imagine tension cascading off them like waterfalls as they drop, right? So inhaling and exhaling, releasing that tension. One more time, inhaling and exhaling, releasing that tension as we go down. Now, this time I want you to inhale and I want you to float your arms gently above your shoulder height, right? And as you exhale, float them back down and feel the lightness. Don't leave them nice and calm. Relax. Do not tighten them up. We are just taking up space. We're moving our bodies. Movement should feel fabulous. And all we're doing is sitting in the same spot. So up and down, repeat as many times as you know it's making you feel good. Okay? Let's do some gentle torso twists. So as we inhale again, we're going to lengthen our spine. And as we exhale, we're going to turn our bodies to the right, keeping our hips stable, right? All we're doing is turning our bodies to the right. Okay, can we do that? And as we inhale back to center, and as we exhale, we're going to turn our bodies to the left. And let's repeat this. Inhaling to center and exhaling. Inhaling to center and exhaling. So you can see our body is starting to loosen and feel good, right? So now let's try inhaling, reaching both arms up, sweep them overhead, gentle stretch. And as we exhale, we're going to circle our arms down and out to the sides, as if we're creating a big bubble of calm. So let's try forward this time. Inhaling, sweeping our arms forward, and then exhaling all the way back. One more time. Inhaling, sweeping our arms forward, exhaling in a big circle all the way back. And then if we want, we can change that to bigger circles back, all the way up, and then we can reverse them to move forward. You should start feeling your body is more engaged, right? Just simple movements, not a lot. Just tiny little movements that can make a difference. How does that feel? Do you feel better? Are you starting to understand? So I want you to let your hands rest comfortably in your lap. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Now I want you to notice any sensation in your body. Perhaps you feel a little lighter. Perhaps you feel more at ease. Take 3 deep, peaceful breaths and exhale. One more. Inhale, just regular deep breaths, and exhale. One more time, and exhale. We did very little movement. And you can see in those few little moments that we spent just moving, micro movements, you started to calm your body and calm your mind. It was a very small amount of time that you can do any time during the day when you feel overwhelmed coming up, right? You can take these mindful micro breaks, right? I like to add to them. I like to take like calming sips. So for those of you who know me, I like to usually have my lemon water. It's got ginger in it today. It's one of my favorites. And one of the kindest things that we can do when we're working on it is to really sprinkle those micro breaks throughout the day. And sometimes a calming sip can help you too, right? These aren't long breaks. It's just about intentionally stepping away from that mental churn, right, for a moment. So I want you to look away and I want you to shift your gaze from this screen if you're looking at me and look out a window and notice nature for 60 seconds if you have the luxury of having a window there. That's a break. It's a micro break. Just look at nature for 60 seconds. Or stand and stretch. Get up, stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, right? Or take some mindful breaths. Close your eyes and take one single, slow, deep breath, focusing on that really sensation of breathing in, breathing out. And then my favorite, sip slowly. So if you have a drink, take one sip with complete attention to that taste, to that temperature. It's called mindful, right? Mindful eating, mindful drinking. I'm going to schedule 2 or 3 of these tiny little resets throughout the day, and that can make a massive difference to your overall calm. The calming sips, I'll tell you why it's interesting when I say calming sips, is because if you focus and train yourself to, when you grab your tea, hopefully it's an herbal tea, when you grab your tea, if you've trained yourself to take the first 2 sips in terms of calming, so you notice what you're drinking, you notice the temperature, you notice the taste, that will naturally start forcing your brain to say, oh, I take a sip, that calms me down. Okay? Herbal teas are renowned for their soothing properties. So think about having these ones. These are the ones that I usually have on hand. These are my 3 of my favorites. Chamomile, of course, it's the classic for calming nerves, right? Lavender is known for the relaxing aroma and its effects. And then the one that I have been drinking a lot lately, and I'm sort of having a version of it, is lemon balm. So you can gently lift your mood and reduce stress because a simple ritual of preparing and slowly sipping that warm, caffeine free herbal tea can be wonderfully grounding, right? And it can aim in really taming that overwhelm. So again, if you become if sipping becomes a habit, and sipping, you have now ensured that you made that connection to being calm, then you will naturally do it. I know sometimes I don't even recognize that I'm doing it, but some days when I'm very anxious or I might be overwhelmed or stressed, I always I go to my cupboard and I grab a chamomile tea or a lemon balm tea, and I don't think about it in terms of, oh, I need a tea to calm down. What I think about is just I naturally just go get a tea because it's integrated into my system that when I feel a little pressure, an herbal tea will help reduce the stress. So it's kind of cool, right? So some of this has been really today is it's really a path to calm, right? And I always leave you with trying to challenge you to do something, right? So we've journeyed together towards a place of really greater calm and mental clarity. And we really focus today on taming overwhelm with simple little things. You've learned that overwhelm is really a common experience, right? But not an insurmountable one. And you've practiced these gentle tools that declutter your mind, right? And reconnect to your inner peace. And remember, those are the skills that you cultivate with practice, like everything else. So this week, I want you to practice a few things. I'm going to leave you with few key things that I really want you to try to implement. So number one is try to practice your gentle decluttering action. So implement that one simple action that you committed to in your journal to reduce that mental clutter. Two is I want you to use your letting go breath, right? When you feel overwhelmed rising. So try that extended exhale, right? So inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8. Inhaling for 2, exhaling for 4. Whatever it is for you, just 5 cycles. That's it. You just need to do it 5 times. You don't have to do it for an hour. It's just 5 cycles. It will immediately start calming you down. Pick your affirmation for your calm, right? And repeat your chosen affirmation anytime you feel a little chaotic. So the simplest one for me is I choose calm. The easiest one to remember for me. However, we've shared a lot of them. You might have your own, whatever feels good to you. Take 2 mindful micro breaks throughout the day. So I want you to really intentionally schedule. Take at least 2 1 to 3 minute breaks. That's all I'm asking you to do. Whether it's a little movement, a little breath, calming tea, whatever it is, I want you to try something this week. 1 to 3 minutes. That's it. Twice a day. That's it. And then obviously, as I ask you every week, is to share your calm. This is always optional, but if you figured out one way that really creates a moment of peace or clarity, I really want you to share it either in the comments or in the group. Why? Because somebody else might benefit from it and they never even thought that that's what was going to help them overcome overwhelm, right? So thank you for dedicating this precious time to really nurturing your inner peace. I want you to really go through the week understanding this lesson, right? And I want your week ahead to be filled with really moments of clarity and calm and gentle ease as you practice that taming overwhelm. So, again, this was Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Club. My name is Faye Chappell. Please join me each and every week. Subscribe, share if you know somebody who's overwhelmed, and these few simple habits can help. Please share this episode. I'm going to leave a link if you're watching on YouTube at the bottom of this. And I have a full hour masterclass that you can take, which really digs deep into overwhelm. Feel free to check that out as well. And I can't wait to see you next week. Make sure you continue on this journey because it's all about you feeling better. And that's a wrap for today's Sunday Morning Club session. Feeling inspired? Well, good. Keep riding that wave all week long. And don't forget to join me live every Sunday at 7 a.m. for real-time conversations. So if you miss a session, no worries. Grab the replays, sign up for our next big thing, and get all the juicy details at sunnymornings.club. So thanks for tuning in. Go out there and spark some magic in your life and in your business.